curly hair, you can't tell it what to do. You can try. Hey guys, it's Jonina here from LOHY. And today I want to show you guys how I style my freshly washed hair in under 25 minutes. So from styling to dry. This video could be shorter if you are not somebody that diffuses your hair and you just leave it to air dry. You probably get like a 10-minute routine underway. So follow along as I take you through my default hair routine. I do break some of my rules, but all in the right ways. And I can't wait to share with you how to achieve effortless curls made easy in your hair at home. So I have cleansed my hair with our Nourish and Flourish shampoo and then hydrated with our Nourish and Flourish conditioner. I am going to use a very small amount of cruise control in my hair. Reason being is I love the softness that it gives to my curls, but I'm literally using like a 10-cent size. So a little bit on both hands, and then I've split my hair in half and I'm just working it through like so, getting into my driest areas where I get the most tangly. Now that I have my hair split in these two halves, what we're going to do is work our gel application on one side at a time. Now, if you feel like this is too large of an amount of hair for you to work on, you can go through and split that into quarters. For me, I can work with half my hair at a time. And today's styler of choice is Oomph. So I'm going to put about a 50-cent size of Oomph in my hand and then about 10 cents of Pow mixed into it. I just want to intensify and add a little bit more punch to the product. And so now starting at the mids ends, I am doing my first application. Still got product in my hand, so then I'm coming through that root area and really trying to make sure I have evenly spread my gel. So don't be afraid to get in quite close at your roots. It's not a bad thing. Then we're grabbing our detangler brush, and I'm always brushing my curls 90 degrees off my scalp to encourage volume at the roots, but also just to make sure I never kind of push product onto my scalp or push wet hair onto my scalp. So I have primed this section and I have sealed in the hydration, and I've brushed through to make sure the product is really well distributed. Now I'm going to apply my styler to my other side. So just a bit over 50 cents of Oomph and about a 10-cent squeeze of Pow. And we're coming in on the mids ends first, then reglaze your fingertips and come through into that roots and mids and really rake it through. This is so important for anyone who finds that they get a lot of halo frizz. One of the best things you can do is wherever you see the most frizz in your hair is where you need to put the most effort or product application. Just make sure it actually meets there. So making sure you are applying your styler, so your gel-based product, so whether that be Oomph or Pow, make sure you're applying it from roots to ends. Makes a huge difference. Okay, so here you can see I've got really lovely sealed in, soaking wet hair. I am wearing my cold shoulder guard to keep my shirt or my shoulders from getting affected by the product or super damp and annoying. Now for me, I tend to just work with my fingers as much as I possibly can. So now I've got a really defined separation between the two, and so I'm going to dissolve that with my fingers like so. So I'm coming through and from over and under, I am trying to separate where I had parted the hair. Now the other thing I am trying to do, which you'll start to see, is I am separating my curl clumps so they're a lot smaller, and I'm making sure that I lean my head over to the side as I do this. Reason being is I'm always trying to focus on volume at the roots. So here you can start to see really nice consistency of curl clumps. Nothing's looking frizzy or tangled. And if it is at this point, you can fix it. If you're finding that your hair is drying really fast, do not be afraid to grab a mister, a spray bottle, and just re-drench it. You still need your hair to be soaking wet at this point. Then with flat hands, we're coming in from the bottom, imagining our hair is slinking up to our roots, and we pulse at the roots. And this is where we start to see, shimmy to the other side. This is where you start to see your curl structure really build. Making sure you come right up to the scalp when you do this step, because that is where I want my curls to begin. If I only squeeze to here, I'm not going to build any curl form in that top root area. So for those of you curlies who are trying to build curls starting from your roots, make sure you do that. Then with my cold shoulder guard, I am now doing the exact same motion, coming up at the roots and pulsing. Slinky and pulse. Once you're happy with how much your hair has dried from the towel, now I am going to layer my second final product, which is our Schutzbar. The reason I love adding Schutzbar is it kind of adds almost like a surfy kind of salt spray texture to your curls. And for me, being a wavy, that's essential. I really love that texture because my hair is quite smooth. So if your hair is naturally quite textured, it may not be an essential product for you, but this is when I would add it. So I've got about 5 pulses of Schutzbar in my hands. I lean my head over to the side and I open my palm and I tap. And then one at the back. Then with whatever is left over, a little bit more there, I will disperse through the last of the hair. Now the reason I put it on the roots the heaviest is because that's where my hair gets the flattest and needs the most amount of support. So that's really important to identify the areas where you need the most texture. If you find your lengths get really kind of long and heavy, then it might be the lengths, but for me, it's that root area. Now my final product is Hold It Shimmer Hairspray. Reason I love this product is it does build so much more hold, hence the name. But the best thing about it is it also speeds up my drying time. So I've done about 6 or 7 sprays. And before I add in our volume combs or our volume clips, I'm just gonna start to build my curl form first. So if you were air drying and you weren't super worried about getting a lot of curl form through this mid kind of root area, then leave it to air dry. For me, I like a lot more structure through there, so I'm going to come straight in with my dryer, and I do high fan and low heat. So the same slinky motion that I was doing when I was squeezing in the curl and building the shape. It's the same motion you use as you're diffusing your hair. And you're just going to work your way around your head. If you find some of your curl clumps start to clump back together, place your fingers in wide, give a shimmy like that, and it will help them just separate again. Because whenever they group together, it'll take a lot longer for them to dry. Pro tip, if you're struggling to, you find your hair frizzes really easily, one thing you can do is just either use a chopstick or a tail comb, and I've lifted the roots there so that I can get more hair up in my diffuser cup without fiddling and touching my hair excessively. That's a really great tip if you have quite flyaway or frizzy hair. I tend to mainly use my fingers, but I know some people find that as soon as they start touching their hair, the frizz will begin. As you move from side to side, you'll notice that I just shook my hair to kind of move it over as opposed to fiddling. The less you touch, the better. You can really see all the curl clumps starting to build their shape here. Now at this point my hair is actually touch dry. I could take my cold shoulder guard off now and just leave it. But I'm going to show you how I would add in my volume combs and also where I would add in my gold clips if I was going to use those. So for me, I have a little cowlick on this side, and for some people they have doubles or multiples, or they just have a fringe that just really never sits with much volume. So what you would do is once you're kind of underway and you feel like your styling is happening, is you just pinch them open just the tiniest amount and slide them in like this. They should be sitting just straight up and off the scalp like so. Okay, so that's just helping set my roots so that they sit and dry in a beautiful, upright, voluminous way. And then through the back, what you can do is grab your lovely volume combs, and slide them in like so. You don't want to bunch too much hair in there because you might find that it then gives an indentation. I could leave my hair to air dry from this point onwards and just go about my morning, leave my cold shoulder guard on to protect my clothes, or I could continue to diffuse and just know that I've taken care of those key areas and I can switch my brain off a little bit more while I diffuse. Okay, so what do we have now is my hair is completely finished its drying process. And the reason I can tell that is when I pinch my crunchy little curl clump, when you open them or feel inside, if there's any dampness, it means your hair is not fully dry. So you may find a few damp spots as you fluff out your curls or break the cast. So now I'm just going to walk out my gold clips and take out my gorgeous volume combs. My first thing I love to do is start to awaken the root area of my hair. So I'll always come in. And I'm just putting my hands on my scalp and doing just some little zigzags. You can come in underneath, like so. And then these kind of lengths, you can either clap them out, you can scrunch them out, or you can also come through and kind of just like massage down the lengths of the hair and give a little shake like so. Now sometimes I love to grab my dryer, take my diffuser nozzle off, and just on a cold air blow, I'll just come in and really get all that root area banging. If you're somebody that has quite fine or flyaway hair, this may be something you do on low speed. Let my hair fall where it wants to. But there you have it, guys. This is my quick 25-minute tutorial on how I do my own hair at home. Obviously I have done our lax Curls Made Easy routine, but I did break the rules a little bit. I didn't split it into 4, I just split it into 2. My prep product was Cruise Control. I did use both of our stylers, but I was heavier with the oomph and just a small amount of power. I did layer over the top with Schutzbar for texture and for all of that lovely goodness. And then a little bit of Hold It over the top to help speed up the drying and build more structure and support to how I finish my hair. So there you have it. Curls Made Easy, 25 minutes. It doesn't have to take you all day. It's really achievable, guys. And it would be a lot less time if I just let it air dry. For me, I like big voluminous curls. So there you have it. Hope that helps, guys. Love and hydration.